The procession was more than a week and a half ago, but the signs are still here. And the memory of what one woman did that day is still making an impact. This is a result of a 27-car pileup. This is the village of Solo. It's one of 24 villages that Utah's Way Less Abuku Alliance helps. When it comes to Christmas, many things come to mind. For some, it could be Christmas lights. It doesn't absorb body odor, apparently.
Like
so that's what I'm going to get you guys for Christmas.
Okay. What are you trying to say?
I want to show you just how fancy this night is. Even the water bottles, they come with straws already in the lid for those ladies who have the nice lipstick.
Forcibly stop a wrong-way drunk driver with his patrol car early this morning.
Wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall in that meeting?
In fact, this backyard used to extend about another 7 feet from where I'm standing right now. Yeah, and so it's understandable that postal workers can get a little bit skittish. When most people think of beaches here in Rio, they think of Copacabana, right? Well, there's another beach not too far from there, maybe a little less crowded and a little less popular, but it has just as much character.
An Iraqi commander says troops are advancing toward the center of the city against heavy resistance.
As you can see, we've got traffic backed up. This has kind of been the theme all day. It's been extremely busy up here. I wish I could tell you that this is groundwater. However, it is sewage water. A busy night for deputies with the Utah County Sheriff's Office when they answered the call for a domestic dispute in Eagle Mountain. We're about to run through a scene. You can see behind me, this is a kitchen, and we have some of the actors out here. They're going to do a no-knock warrant and come in through the room, and we're going to take part in it. But for one small group of Utahns, it's also a place for art. Trina is hoping to save up enough money to start up a traditional coffee shop a few years down the road. And of course, she says she'll build it right there in Rose Park. This crime scene has really spanned several blocks. It's what you might call the hidden power of plastic. Now, you may recognize this place. It's the set for Randall's house. Now, he's not home right now, but his TV brother is. But for Ethan, the struggles he faces are even more challenging. We're here in the backyard of this American Fork home. It might be hard for you to see, but you could probably hear the pumps going right now. Even at this late hour, they're pumping out as much mud and water as possible. But I want to show you just how much water came through this backyard. This is the family's in-ground trampoline. They say it's about 4 or 5 feet deep. You can see it's just full of water. Looks more like a swimming pool under there at this point. So what's the secret to all their success? All you have to do is ask. But for one little boy who is a huge BYU football fan, well, he got a whole lot more. When you've lived in Davis County as long as Bruce Lloyd has, you know a thing or two about this view.
You can always tell because there's an east wind cloud that lays right across the top of those mountains.
More than 6 decades of seeing those mountains, and his hunch about the incoming windstorm,
east winds play havoc,
was spot on.
It comes out of the camps right off the mountain.
He woke up to quite the mess.
And then you come over here and everything's blown apart.
Like always, he's enlisted the help of his son.
Yep.
But when your yard is Cherry Hill Amusement Park,
camping resort, family fun center, water park.
your cleanup takes a little longer than most families.
Saw everything. I was like, no, it's like 4 years ago.
20 acres.
Which was a lot worse. This is nothing compared to 4 years ago.
180 campsites.
This is just Mother Nature.
And now,
spitting in our face and saying,
downed trees.
So clean.
Everywhere.
I just thought, well, I'm gonna drive around here, start counting the number of full-size trees that fell over. Luckily, none of them fell over on campers.
We'll get there.
Sometimes all you can do,
gotta call the insurance company,
is laugh. And then do what your family has done for 50 years and get to work.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, these trees.
Bruce Lloyd wonders how many more storms he's got in him.
I've watched one fall over.
And when it's time to finally sit back, relax, and just enjoy the view.
And I'm ready to give it to my sons now.
The procession was more than a week and a half ago, but the signs are still here. And the memory of what one woman did that day is still making an impact. If you've ever made a call to Deer Valley Resort.
Good afternoon, Deer Valley Resort. This is Louise. How may I direct your call?
Chances are you've talked to Louise Redmond.
Now, this is my 29th year.
Throughout those years, a lot's changed, including her health.
I'll turn 66 in July.
Both hips have been replaced, and soon the knees will need replacing too.
Sitting doesn't seem to bother me, but standing in place surely does.
And that's why it's even more amazing Luis did this. A procession 53 miles long, lasting nearly an hour.
But I couldn't leave. I had to stay and thank each one of those men and women. I caught a glance of his wife, and she and I looked at each other.
Although Louise has trouble getting around, she knows this building well. But what she doesn't know is there are people waiting to meet her, including some of those in uniform who passed her that day, and one very special guest.
Hi.
I'm Officer Doug Barney's wife, and I just wanted to say thanks to you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It meant so much to us to have so many people out there, but that picture of you sure touched a lot of people. So many officers have been talking about it, finally feeling gratitude.
And some of those officers drove more than an hour to be here.
And I wanted a big hug. I've been wanting to do this for over a week now.
A week of waiting to meet this special woman, but a lifetime to remember how it felt.
My eyes were filled with tears.
If you call Deer Valley, chances are you'll talk to Louise Redmond. But now you know just how special the woman on the other end of the line is.
It was a good day.
It was very special.
It was a good day. Even though we'll miss him a lot.
Thank you.
There we go. There we go. Get sideways. Get down, knee down, knee down, knee down. Ready, go. There we go. Not bad.
For most of these kids, being here is a choice.
Does that make sense?
That's because it requires such a commitment.
There we go.
You have to want to be here. But for Ethan Feinschreiber, his mom kind of made that choice for him.
You can do soccer, t-ball, or karate. Which one do you want to do? You've got to do one. And he just said, I don't want to do any of them. I said, you choose I'll choose for you.
That was 4 years ago, and let's just say he's left most of his peers in the dust.
It makes me feel like some kind of superhero where I have a special power. Like, I've always wanted to fly, but I think I'm flying enough.
But he really took flight earlier this month at the American Taekwondo Association World Championships.
It was amazing. I mean, I was standing there thinking, okay, I have a 50 chance of winning it and I have a 50 chance of losing it.
Bring it on, buddy!
He didn't just win it, he got a perfect score.
I was shocked.
Martial arts can be challenging for anyone. It can take years of commitment and countless hours of training. But for Ethan, the struggles he faces are even more challenging.
I remember when they sat me down and said, well, he's definitely on the spectrum.
Diagnosed with autism at 3 years old.
All that went through my mind is, will he be able to be a productive member of society? Will he be able to have a wife? Will he be able to hold down a job, you know?
Ethan is smashing stereotypes and also gaining quite a bit in the process.
My son, who had no friends up until he was probably 9, 10 years old, had gained many friends.
This may be the day Ethan became a world champion, but it's also the day his mom's dreams took flight.
He's reached amazing heights and accomplished amazing goals. I don't worry at all anymore. He'll be fine.
Good afternoon and welcome to KSL 5 News at 5. Protests at airports around the country against President Trump's 90-day ban on immigration from 7 Muslim-majority countries. And today those protests spilled downtown. News specialist Sean Moody followed them as they marched. Sean, you've been following this protest since last night. How did the crowds compare tonight in downtown compared to at the airport last night? All right, thank you. Sean Moody reporting live for us from Salt Lake City. Meanwhile, in Denver this weekend, a naturalization ceremony to officially grant U.S. citizenship to 32 immigrants. They all come from different countries, representing different religions, races, and ethnicities. But for these new citizens, for them, the ceremony is bittersweet. For these new Americans, they say it's the recent election that actually motivated them the most to officially become U.S. citizens. We're learning new details this afternoon about the man accused of sexually abusing a 5-year-old boy in a library bathroom. Police say it happened Wednesday at this West Jordan branch of the Salt Lake County Library. Police arrested this man, Troy Sickler Jr., Saturday and booked him into jail for investigation of child sex abuse and child kidnapping. Court records show this isn't Sickler's first time being investigated for a crime like this. In 2015, he was accused of exposing himself to a 7-year-old boy in the bathroom at a West Valley City library. The case was dismissed, though, when Sickler was found mentally incompetent to stand trial. We'll continue to follow this and bring more coming up on KSL 5 News at 5:30. Some scary moments in New Jersey when a 5-year-old girl is thrown onto a train track. Police say this 20-year-old allegedly grabbed the young girl standing next to her mother and then threw her onto the railroad tracks as a train approached. Quick-thinking police jumped in front of the train and signaled for it to stop while the mother's boyfriend rescued the girl. Police believe the man threw the girl when he noticed police officers on scene investigating reports of suspicious activity. On to world news now. 11 people are dead as a series of wildfires continue to burn through towns and forests in Chile. Right now, officials are estimating the fires have destroyed an area twice the size of New York City. We're already hearing stories of survival in all of this. One family beat the odds as the fire approached. A mother and her daughters right there, well, they saw the flames coming and survived by jumping into a ditch and covering it with sheets of metal. And why Southwest Airlines is shunning basic fares.